The world is burning. Actually, just California. Oh, good one. But look at this fire right here. Look at how big that is. Palisades. This is like a whole city size. And then we got another one right here. Eaton fire going on over here. Los Angeles is being engulfed in flames. Good thing I am in Orange County, which is like an hour south. So I am doing pretty good over here. Thank you very much. Thanks for asking. But man, there's been some crazy things going on since the beginning of this year. I have not been keeping up with all this different stories and news going on. Not even sure what stories or news I'm trying to follow here, but it's kind of just random to be honest with you. But with the fires going on, if you haven't heard about all the basically incompetence of the California governance, you know, the governor and the mayor and everything, and how they didn't fill up the reservoir, whatever the reservoir is. I don't even like it's around, it's somewhere. And then anyway, all these things that have to do with like the Newsom like wanting to save the fish, and therefore they don't get water into the state because of things like that, and it's just all this crazy stuff. And so now, oh, and they don't clear all the brush and everything in the forest, so it's all a mess. So it really sucks because, oh, and I mean, here, might as well get into it right now, since I'm talking about it. Where's the link here? Highlights, world first. Trump wants to take Greenland. Okay, I had it open. Anyway, it was an article talking about how, yeah, they don't deal with the brush, and oh, how it's like the most expensive fire like ever. It was like, oh yeah, it could be like $100 billion or something. And guess what? Oh, and on top of that, insurance. People were like, their insurance was canceling uh, right before the fire and all this stuff. Anyway, so guess who's gonna have to pay for all the damages and everything? You guys, everybody, taxpayers. So congratulations, you get to pay for my fire. Uh, so yeah, that's the state I live in. Fortunately, I live in a nice area in Orange County, but it's extremely expensive and I can barely survive. So there's that. Yeah. So that's what's going on with the fires all the way up here. But the size of them, like Los Angeles is like right here, the city, like the actual city of Los Angeles is like this big. I don't know if I can look at the. Anyways, they're big. They're big. But all this other stuff is going on. Like we might as well just watch this video right here. CES was going on and I was like, "Oh, that's cool. Like let's check out all the different robotics and stuff and products." Robots with a human touch. This, like, a lot of people are talking about this. Yeah. What kind of human touch are we talking about here? Because I'm interested. What does this cost? So let's go ahead and check this out. Because let's see what's going on with this robotics
All
with
right,
a
guys, I'm here
human
at
touch.
CES 2025, and I'm in front of probably one of the busiest booths here this year. This is the booth of robotics, which is an AI or custom-built humanoid robot, and it has full AI integration. I'm gonna have Andrew, the
Already,
CEO of robotics, give us a
already that sounds extremely expensive, as well as with AI, there's gonna be like monthly payments for that, I'm assuming. And these types of robots, yeah, they're really expensive. And is it worth it? I mean, maybe for some people.
quick little tour of the humanoids that they have
Like,
here
look
on
at this
display, and
thing.
also what you're able to do.
First of all, why do they why do they design it like Pamela Anderson? You know, like a porn star. Second of all, well, let's see what it does.
With them.
Hi, I'm Andrew Kegel, the CEO of Realbotics. Our company makes the most realistic AI-powered robots on the planet. We believe we have humanoid robots that can interact with you in a similar way to humans. We program them to have social AI so that they can have a conversation with you, learn who you are, recognize you when you're interacting with them. I'll show you a little bit about the robots here. This is Melody, one of our robots.
From the perspective of like AI, having like conversations and stuff with you. Yeah, that's nice. It's nice to have like an AI that can converse with you or whatever. These robots look like dolls. Like they 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 don't look superhuman. They are humanoid, right? In the sense that they have arms and legs and a head, but they obviously look very plasticky.
She is built in a modular fashion, which means she's almost like Lego. We can pull her apart, put her in a suitcase, and get her to New York,
God.
Miami, Las Vegas.
We could pull her apart and put her in a suitcase. Excuse me? What? Hold on. How is this good marketing?
We can pull her apart, put her in a suitcase, and get her to New York, Miami, Las Vegas, wherever we need.
Gosh, this guy. Why are you saying these things when you're trying to promote this product?
To go, we plug her into AI, and she can have a full conversation with you. The other thing with them is that
Okay, I would say she looks like an animatronic, right? That's what she looks like. She looks like a Disney animatronic, but like adult version.
the robots are all open source, meaning we can plug her into ChatGPT or any of the other thousands of AI protocols that are out there, and she speaks various language. We had her speaking Chinese and Spanish this morning as demonstrations for people. Aria, or is a flagship robot, she's on a wheel platform, she can move around, has a different personality than the other robots. So we have several
So you have to wheel her around, but she just bobs her head around? Is that like what's going on?
various AI personalities that can interact with the audience.
I'm Aria, the flagship female companion robot of Realbotics, and I can provide companionship, engage in fun conversations, and
Oh my gosh. She sounds like AI. Like, I don't know. Who's gonna buy this? I'm sure some people are buying these, okay.
adapt to your preferences for a delightful experience.
I'm Melody.
All of our robots unique is, again, this modularity. We have a patented skin technology. It's the softest.
Okay, what are these for? Why do they have huge tatas? We all know what the reason these robots are for.
Best synthetic skin in the world, and we can remove the face and put on an entirely new face on the robot within 30
this is
seconds.
horror.
Now, why would you want to do that? And I'll explain to you why. It's a little bit like
I love how he's talking as if it's just like super normal, but he's saying things like, yeah, we can pull her apart into pieces and put her in a bag and transport her to another state, and we can take her face off and replace it with another face. Like, should I don't know, like maybe use different words. I'm not sure. Maybe it sells. I don't know. Maybe people are into that sort of thing. Yeah, that's cool. I can take her apart.
ordering a car.
kinda
You can customize the various options, the color, sunroof,
Yeah,
other.
like the way he's talking is very like non-human. He's not describing them in human ways. He's describing them as just like products to like a car. But yet I would assume they're trying to portray them as very humanoid, right? So you want to be a little warm when you're in your word choice.
The different gadgets in the car. For us, it's the same thing with the robots. They all have the same engine, the same chassis, but you can customize the face and the look. But what we want you to be able to do is buy the robotic platform and have various characters that you can swap that robot platform into.
I can't wait to buy my Pamela Anderson porn star robot and then swap the face with that old man. That'll be great. That'll be amazing.
You can have one robot and various characters. So if you want to learn more about us, you can find us at realbotics.com. We are a publicly traded company. You can look us up. And if you go to realbotics.com, there's lots of videos. You can see.
Hey, well, publicly traded. I guess they're making money. People are buying these. People are buying these. Next up, world's first AI jet. So this is a little more interesting to me. I'm not buying a robot, but I could see what I want to do is actually print my own 3D shoes. But these are quite ugly. These are quite ugly. So Scintillate, the world's first entirely AI designed and 3D printed piece of thermoplastic polyurethane to call itself a shoe. All right, so there have been 3D printed shoes in the past. There are ones you can download the 3D file and print yourself, and then there's a few companies that I know of. There's probably many that I don't know of that has printed, including a couple of major companies. I just can't remember. Maybe Adidas, not quite sure, who have 3D printed shoes, and it's definitely a really cool idea. In theory, it's like printing your own shoes at home. Like many, if not most, shoes are made out of different kinds of plastic, right? Like, look at your shoes. They're probably made out of plastic. I'm wearing flip flops. I always just wear flip flops. They're made out of some kind of foam, plastic foam, whatever. A combination of foam and plastic. What else do I have here? Yeah, like it's all plastic for at least like a lot of plastic in shoes. So to print shoes out of plastic or some kind of plastic is not like crazy. And they say there's a pretty high chance these are TPU. TPU is a very, I guess, popular material for 3D printing. It's flexible, and there's different stages of it. There's more flexible, less flexible, softer, harder. And so it's a pretty good material if you want to, well, I guess, print soft plastic shoes, I guess. But these guys used Mid-Journey to create the shape, and then an artist drew a sketch based on the Mid-Journey creation. So essentially they're using AI to come up with the idea that they then take and modify into their final idea. So they're really just using it for an idea. But then they do, I believe, use AI to produce the computer model. So yeah, I mean, it's not totally AI only, it's AI assisted, but to a great degree. Which is I do like, and I've done that myself with some 3D prints that I have done. For that I have done. Who talks like that? That I've printed for some friends, where I would use AI to come up with the idea, and then I tweaked it, and then used AI to come up with the 3D version of it. This is what they look like. They are quite ugly. That is true. So they will scan your shoes, or you'll scan your shoes so that they will, or your feet. They call them tootsies. I don't know. And then you'll send that in, and they'll create custom 3D printed. I will be creating universal. So I'm not going to be doing like 3D printed custom shoes. I'm going to do my own that are like universal sizes, basically, and then try and sell them, because these guys are selling for $150. And yeah, you can definitely, I mean, it costs a fair amount with the material to print them, and then time and everything. So I would imagine I could sell some shoes for over $100, but I don't know who's gonna buy them. I just think it's gonna be a really cool project to work on, and I think some people would buy them. I'll definitely um, I'm gonna be taking a look at some of the companies that make 3D shoes, and probably buy a few to check them out. I don't know about these. I think these are quite ugly, but these are like a first design that they're doing to, well, they say to gain brand recognition, because they're just getting started. So this is kind of cool. I think I'm gonna watch them over time. But yeah, I just thought that was cool because I'm getting more into 3D printing, and I've been 3D printing a lot of things, but shoes are one of the things that I want to 3D print. I guess it would be a good idea to use AI to come up with the design idea, but I kind of wanted to come up with my own design because these are pretty ugly. Like, but then again, like people will wear really ugly shoes. I want something that's not quite this ugly. It's a little more. This looks like an alien creature. Like, I don't know. I'm not really a fan of that. And then of course we've had TikTok is it's there's so many other things going on right now that TikTok has been in the news for a while with them shutting down, but I haven't seen it been talked about bigly recently. If that is English, then that be good that I talk. Oh my gosh. On Friday, I promise I can talk. On Friday, the Supreme Court heard arguments in the case that will determine the fate of TikTok in the United States. Friday, so that was just what, yesterday, right? The 10th. And they're looking to uphold the law to basically close down TikTok, or else it needs to be sold. One or the other. TikTok faces a January 19th deadline under a federal law requiring it to be sold or effectively banned in the United States, and they will perhaps as soon as next week issue a ruling. So, yeah. I mean, that's basically the news, but it's big news. I'm just trying to find the other part that I highlighted. ByteDance is saying that the sale is not feasible. So, and because they apparently, so there's the algorithm that's connected to TikTok, and they don't want to sell the algorithm. But someone wouldn't necessarily want to buy TikTok without the algorithm, because that's like the most important part, or at least one of the most important parts. Like if you don't have the algorithm, that's kind of what gets people addicted and what gets people watching more and like what gets people growing their following fast and all this stuff. So, you know, they don't want to sell it, and people probably wouldn't want to buy it without it. The research firm CB Insights recently estimated that ByteDance was worth 225 billion. They own TikTok, but there's two versions of TikTok. There's the Chinese version, and then there's the US version. So they're not saying how much the US version would actually cost. So that's basically it. It's very soon that this is gonna happen. And obviously people are, let me just see if I can see what people are talking about as far as like where are people gonna go? And I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna find it. I'm like, I don't know. I'm not doing TikTok, so it doesn't affect me that much, but I can understand how there's people who have like, in this article, there's like one person that's like, I have 400,000 subscribers on my TikTok, and I make a living and stuff. So I can understand that, but I also understand the idea that China owns it and there's security concerns. So I don't know the answer, but I'm interested to see what happens. I'm very interested to see where everybody is going to go, if there's going to be a TikTok alternative that pops up that becomes big. Because if there is, then that's a huge opportunity. If anybody wants to start social media, to jump on that. And whenever you're like one of the first on a platform, it makes it easier to grow. Although if a lot of people are jumping from TikTok to a new platform, then obviously they're going to bring their followers with them. So there's going to be pretty good competition right from the get-go. Having said that, a lot of people might just go to YouTube or, existing platforms. So probably a lot of people will go to Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, etc. And I think YouTube's going to be one of the biggest to absorb people because it's, my opinion, the best platform. Moving on, segueing into the next, oh my gosh, I would be like the worst news person. Next story, that's what I would I would be like. That's how I would talk on a news station on BBC. They would hire me on BBC, and I'd be like, and next story. He first indicated an intention to buy Greenland in 2019. Yeah, so, and then Greenland votes for independence. So Trump is possibly looking to buy Greenland. Greenland wants independence. So Greenland is owned by Denmark in some way, shape, or form. And I guess they want independence from Denmark. So, but if we bought it, would that be independence though? Yeah. So I don't really know what's going on with this. I just think it'd be kind of cool if we owned Greenland though. Look at that. Is this to scale? That's huge. I mean, maybe it's mostly ice. So, but apparently there's a lot of, I don't know, whatever, oil or resources over there. At least that's what I heard Trump say one time. That would be kind of cool if it was like United States, Greenland, and then Canada, the 51st state. Like, we're going to start owning the whole world, That's kind of crazy. Canada, not so much. Not so much. Yeah, I don't know about that. And then finally, I was like, I didn't watch the Joe Rogan podcast with Mark Zuckerberg. But I just thought it was kind of interesting, a couple of things he was saying. I've kind of been following his style. So I actually can't show it here because I'm using my little avatar guy, my VTuber character. But I kind of bought some outfits that kind of copied him. So I went to Uniqlo and got a, what do you call those, oversized t-shirt, or is that what they're called? Oversized or big cut t-shirt? It's like, it's specifically meant to be bigger, What do you call that? It's like all Asians, that's what they wear, is like oversized t-shirts. Anyway, I say that because I live in Irvine, which is like 90% Asian, it feels like. And anyway, so I was like following his broccoli hair. Not really. It's not quite broccoli hair. People were kind of talking about that on a couple different YouTube videos I was watching. It's just like curly hair. Yeah, he had it like over his forehead, but it wasn't really broccoli hair. It's just like curly hair. You know what I'm talking about, like the Gen Z hair, which is horrific, but uh I every generation has their horrific hairstyles, so I'm not like saying anything bad about it. I'm just saying it's horrific, but the same as every other generation. So it was bowl cuts when I was young, and then very soon after, it was just split hair that you slick down as much as possible. Which now is actually, I guess, made a comeback. So, but I used like tons of gel. Like I just piled on the gel, so it was like crusty. Yeah. Now I don't have any hair, so I don't have to worry about that. But on the podcast, he was basically talking about iPhones, Apple. He doesn't like how they're kind of stagnant. They haven't, referring to Apple, they haven't invented anything great in a while. It's like Steve Jobs invented the iPhone, and now they're just kind of sitting on it 20 years later. And he's basically talking about how there's like, very restrictive. He tried to put, some of his products, like the Ray-Ban stuff, to connect to the iPhone, and it was restrictive and all this stuff. So I was just interested in his new outfit, really. So yeah, I went to Uniqlo, bought the t-shirts, bought some joggers. I even got the chain. So let me see if I can find. you know, oh, so this is like not. This is just his style now. It's like these oversized t-shirts, but which I am a fan of. So like his outfits before, not as good as this look. So I'm glad whatever stylist he's talking to, it is an improvement, I will say. What was his I'm trying to remember where I saw. It's the black T-shirt with the gold chain. So that was his like let me see if I can find it. It's the video. Hold on, it's the video. White background. The video of Zuck doing his, what would you call it? Apology? Not really an apology video, but like, hey, yeah, we've been censoring everyone for the past, 4, 8 years. Yeah, we have. It was Facebook. It wasn't me. It was me. I didn't want it to happen. That was the video. So let me see if I can find him. What's his name? Mark Zuckerberg. Zuckerberg. Talking about censorship. I gotta find it. Yeah, here we go. Okay, his little apology video. Hold on, I'll show you. I gotta find the original one. Oh, was it I guess it was like a short. Okay, here it is. I'm popping it up. Let me show it. I'm gonna show it. Give me 1 second. I'm showing it. I promise. This is an excellent quality YouTube video that you're watching right now. Okay. Look at this outfit. So this is the whole gold chain. I'm sure it's like 100% gold. I bought a steel with like gold plated for $25. So okay. He's got the Uniqlo T-shirt, which I'm sure is probably like $100. It's probably like a $500 T-shirt, where mine is like $14.
I want to talk about something important today, because it's time to get back to our roots around free expression on Facebook and Instagram.
He's still got the robotic dead eyes, which, because he's reading a teleprompter, right? So, but he's not great at acting natural while reading a teleprompter. Like you have to practice that for quite a bit to become good at both reading a teleprompter and looking like you're not reading a teleprompter. And that takes work. And he's been doing it for so many years, and he's still not good at it. He still looks like an AI. He looks like that AI girl that we just looked at, except male version, and and then the broccoli hair. But it's not really broccoli hair, because like if it was broccoli hair, then the hair would go all the way down into his eyebrows, right? So it's just curly hair.
I started building social media to give people a voice. I gave a speech at Georgetown 5 years ago about the importance of protecting free expression, and I still believe this today.
Yeah. But by what's that from the Bible? By your fruits ye shall know them. Just saying.
But a lot has happened over the last several years. There's been widespread debate about potential harms from online content. Governments and legacy media have pushed to censor more and more.
I love how he's pushing the blame to the government. Like, that's what he's doing. He's like, a lot has happened. Governments have been pressuring people to censor. China, Russia. And so we didn't have a choice, we weren't able to it was them that forced us.
A lot of this is clearly political, but there's also a lot of legitimately bad stuff out there. Drugs, terrorism, child exploitation. These are things that we take very seriously, and I want to make sure that we handle responsibly.
I mean, you're not wrong. It's good to want to solve those problems, but yeah.
So we built a lot of complex systems to moderate content. But the problem with complex systems is they make mistakes. Even if they accidentally censor just 1% of posts, that's millions of people. And we've reached a point where it's just too many mistakes and too much censorship.
Wait, yeah. They reached a point now, the day after Trump where they certified all the votes, right? Is that what it was? They certified all the votes on, was it Friday? I don't know, 2 days ago, something, whatever. And then like the next day he comes out with this. So what day was this? 4 days ago? Okay, whatever, several days ago. And yeah, so was it the 2nd, I believe, that they certified the votes? And then he comes out of this the next day. I don't know, I'm getting my dates mixed up, okay? I don't remember. Anyway, and so you're like, hasn't there been all this censorship talking about Facebook censorship for like 10 years or something? So, obviously it's, what would you call it? Expedient of him. Expedient is not the right word, probably. Ironic? No. Isn't it? What's the word? It's like interesting. I'll just use the word interesting that he's coming out with this. Oh yeah, there's too much censorship. We just found out today there's too much censorship. Right after Trump became officially the president, and he's talking about how he wants to do all this stuff to have free speech and everything.
Censorship. The recent elections also feel like a cultural tipping point towards once again prioritizing.
Zucc has been trying to become buddy with Trump because he's coming into power, and Zucc is like, well, I better become friends with him because Facebook is heavily connected with the government, so he better be friends with whoever's in power, or else he's not going to get what he needs or wants.
Speech. So we're going to get back to our roots and focus on reducing mistakes, simplifying our policies, and restoring free expression on our platforms.
Why didn't you do it earlier? Why did you do it just now? Like, obviously there's reasons why he's doing it now versus like last week or 5 years ago or 3 years ago.
More specifically, here's what we're going to do. First, we're going to get rid of fact checkers and replace them with community notes similar to X, starting in the US.
Who did I watch? And they were like, he wants to be like Elon. I mean, look at this. Similar to X, community notes. I want to be friends with Trump. We're trying to fix. I guess it's in vogue now to not have censorship, I guess. Thanks to people like Elon and Trump, it's in vogue now. So that's good. That's a good thing. I think this is financially and politically motivated for him to do this. I don't think he necessarily has the morals of free speech.
Yes. After Trump first got elected in 2016, the legacy media wrote nonstop about how misinformation was a threat to democracy. We tried in good faith to address those concerns without becoming the arbiters of truth. But the fact checkers have just been too politically biased and have destroyed more trust than they've created, especially
what fact checkers is he talking about? The ones in Facebook, or is he talking about like media
in the US? So over the next couple of months, we're going to phase in a more comprehensive community notes system. Second, we're going to simplify our content policies and get rid of a bunch of restrictions on topics like immigration and gender that are just out of touch with mainstream discourse.
Yeah, they've been out of touch for, well, no, I guess maybe, I mean, they have been out of touch with mainstream discourse, just not media discourse, I guess. It's just convenient for him to do all this now because it's just easy. Now that, Trump and Elon and everybody are in office, so to speak, Elon obviously is a big player here. It's just easier to say these things for Zuck now. He's not going to get as much backlash. So I think that's the reason why that's kind of what it boils down to. It's just now it's just easier for him to say these things. So anyways, I'm not going to or watch the whole thing because it's just more of this. And you can watch it if you want. Mark Zuckerberg, and you can search for it on YouTube or wherever. But that's about it. I just wanted to, go over some news stories. What else has been going on? So we got CES. We got like all this stuff with Mark's outfits. I'll show you. I'll do a little outfit reveal of my Zuck outfit. I gotta buy some broccoli at the store. So anyway, my next videos are gonna be a little more targeted on certain topics. I just wanted to like kind of go over a bunch of different stories, but I didn't have like too much to. I didn't have too much planning on this video. I've been working on some things like moving and some other stuff, trying to get this one job I've been trying to get, but we'll see how that goes. So I haven't spent too much time making videos, which my goal was kind of to make like one a day. It's probably going to end up being like one every other day. So yeah, that's about it. And hope everybody has a great day and be careful of any crazy wildfires.